What's up, and welcome to my channel. Happy Tuesday. What day of the week is it? Wednesday. Is it really? I don't know. I think I'm all over the place. I don't even. Happy Hump Day! What's up, y'all? What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? I don't know. I know I didn't do a video yesterday. I think I did one on Monday, but missing one video. But here I am today. Super excited. I've been calling, looking for apartments. I'm packing up my kitchen, giving away food. I'm getting ready to go on vacation next Saturday, the 27th. And I'm going to be gone for a month. And when I get back, I'm going to be moving into my new apartment. I'm going to have so much fun decorating it. This is going to be the apartment that is really going to be for me and my husband. And hopefully, if I can get a two-bedroom for our kids. Either way, it's going to be for our kids, but I'm going to really do the bed, the furniture. I'm going to really have everything. Everything here is going bananas. Goodbye. All right, so today I'm going to talk about addictions, drugs inside of prison. So I think, of course, everybody knows there's drugs inside of prison, whether it's county jail or the prison. When we talk about addictions and addicts, I am not an addict. I have never been an addict. I don't know what it is to be an addict. So this is just based off of some of the things that I've researched and learned. Um, so if I don't get everything right or say all the proper terminologies or know everything, please feel free to leave some things in my comment section so you can educate me as well. Um, and I always talk about whether you're doing 1 day in prison to a life sentence in prison. I know there are a lot of people currently that are locked up with addictions to heroin, crack, weed, alcohol, etc., and so forth. And with these different addictions, um, a lot of these people are in jail. They haven't even committed any, they're nonviolent offenders. They have committed crimes maybe to support their drug habit, or their original crime was something to get a drug and then they violate it because they have this addiction to drug. And there are some jails, or prisons. Well, before you go to prison, you typically go to jail first. You don't just go straight to prison. So typically, I'm tired. I've been waking up on time. Definitely, I haven't been sleeping in all day, so that's really awesome. But going to when you get arrested and you're coming from the street and you're coming off of drugs, it can be a very hard thing going into jail and you're detoxing from drugs. You can almost feel like you know, have like the flu. You could be throwing up, you could have an upset stomach, you could have diarrhea, you can have a variety of these different things. You can have body pains, you can be shaking. I'm just depending whether you're coming off of heroin, crack, or opiates. Typically when you're coming off of a high like weed, well, I've never, experienced those things coming down from weed. Um, I smoke, and when I'm coming down from weed, I don't know. I can go days without smoking weed, but then I'm not addicted to weed, so I don't know. I know maybe even coming off of alcohol, you can get these things like throwing up and body pains, and you're shaking and different things, and they can feel like flu-like symptoms. And some jails or will give you Gatorade and ibuprofen to help get you through them. Some they don't do anything. You might be lucky if you get some ginger ale. Some prisons have ginger ale, some don't. So you might be able to get some cold water and some saltine crackers. I don't know. So when you're going into prison and you're coming off of drugs and you're detoxing, it can be very hard. Um, but then there are people. that get to prison or to these jails, and they have Suboxone. Now, Suboxone was also something that was given and prescribed by doctors, but somehow became more of a street thing where people were smuggling it and selling it, and then people were using this to help get high or do their thing with. I'm not exactly sure. I know when you're pregnant, and if you're a female and you're pregnant and you're coming off the street, if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be doing drugs, period. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. But it's an addiction. So now maybe you're pregnant and you've been doing these drugs while you're pregnant. It is so scary coming off of drugs while you're pregnant, detoxing, especially coming into jail. It can almost make you have a miscarriage. I've heard in many, 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 many occurrences in females miscarrying because they're coming off of opiate and drugs, and the baby is now addicted. That's why you have addicted babies to drugs, because they become dependent on it, and it's sad, but they actually need this drug. So it could actually be a very, very, very bad thing as well for your baby. For your baby. Wow, sad to say. Um, there are many ways to get drugs while in prison. The cost is very, very, very costly for like 50 or $10 or $15 amount of dollars on the street. So imagine um a dime bag, which is $10 of weed. That could cost you in the upwards of $50 to $60 in jail. So drugs in prison, and I mean they have everything from the crack to the heroin to the opiates to the pills to the weed to the spice to the K2. All of those do get into these prison facilities. And a lot of times, if you can't get your drug of choice in a facility, you might pick up another habit if you have an addiction to drugs. That's why they make hooch. I'm so sleepy. I'm waking up on time, just not getting to sleep on time. But uh, at least I'm here doing my video. That's why they have hooch for people that are drinkers, and getting them big laundry of the big detergents buckets, and they put their sugar and they ferment their fruits and different things in this bucket, and they might put it behind the dryer to get it to that room temperature, and then they gotta air it. I'm gonna teach you guys about making hooch in another video, but whether it's alcohol, weed, or crack or coke or pills, it's still an addiction. And an addiction in jail is very, very huge. There's multiple ways that um, drugs come in. I'm sorry, I'm so sleepy. Through the mail, you can get them in through a bot, a fake bottom package. You can get things through with the spray, so you can like take it and like spray it all, and then this whole thing, and then they'll rip it off, roll it up, and actually be able to smoke it. And that's why a lot of facilities now, they do not get the original copy of mail anymore. They are starting to scan everything. And that's why, and it's probably going to cost the prison systems a lot of money, because they're not able to get like actual mail anymore. They're having to copy everything. So that's going to cost the prison a lot of money. Maybe you have a good girlfriend that comes and visits you pretty frequently. That's another way to get drugs into the city. You could suitcase it. But remember, when you leave visitation, you're going to have to bend over and cough. So you're going to want to make sure you don't hear and hitting the ground. You better control your butt muscles and hold that shit in. That's one way. But now they're even getting more technology where you're coming back from visitation and you're having to go through an x-ray machine so they can kind of see your butt cheek muscles and see if anything's up there. Um, The most successful way also too is to swallow it. A lot of people will swallow the stuff. So that's ways to get drugs inside, and then you have your corrupt COs. But I think a lot of the drugs come through probably visitation or through the mail. Um, I would say visitation. Um, Excuse me. Maybe I'll drink some coffee in a little bit. Um, but either way, whether you're getting the drugs in there to sell them or you're getting them in there to use them, getting caught with drugs inside prison as an inmate can, um, you can be charged with a federal offense, have more time added to your time, and loss of good time. You lose all your good time credit. So it's not really worth the risk. Smoking weed and getting high in jail also can come with a very negligent consequence, such as you losing your good time, and you could get yourself added to a hot list where you're having to take drug tests randomly, and they say like, hey, inmate such and such report to the library, or inmate such and such report here, and you're going all over the place, and then when you show up, there they are, strip searching you with your dick in a hand and a cup to piss because you tested dirty for drugs in prison. So having an addiction in prison, I can say, is really hard. um, it's a very easy it's very hard to get in debt in prison, and have a drug debt when you are addicted to drugs inside of prison, because drugs on the outside you might think cost a lot, but they are extremely high there. On top of them costing a lot and putting your freedom in jeopardy and having your good time taken. If you're a lifer, you might not have nothing to lose. Um, but you might lose your privileges, your phone, you might be sent to the hole. So these are things to think about. If you have an out date and you get caught, it might push your time to stay in there further. So, I mean, people use drugs maybe to cope with their anxiety and their stress and different things to that nature. But if you get into a drug that inside a prison, it can cost you your life. Okay? So let's just say no to drugs. Click like, subscribe, and share. And remember to continue to stay blessed. Happy hump day, y'all! Hey! Happy hump day. I'm so excited. It's almost the end of February, 6 months down. We have 2 months of good time, so that would push us at 8 months. So we're 10 months to go. So I'm definitely super excited about that. Apartment coming soon, moving, packing. If you can see in the background, my house is like junky, but I'm ready to go, and I'm ready for my husband to come back home. Continue to stay safe.